Hello dear viewers and welcome to T-World. Kindly hit the subscribe button and we will be on our way. In today's news, the broadcast hearings about the January 6th Capitol revolt have opened with nerve-wracking declaration. However, will the Democrats get their Watergate second? In New York, it was charged as an early evening TV spine chiller in view of the genuine occasions of the raging of the U.S. Capitol on the 6th of January last year. Yet, the broadcast hearings in Congress about how Donald Trump attempted to upset the consequences of the 2020 political race felt more like a gradually moving ghastliness show. Instead of Freddy Krueger was the previous president. And the bad dream wasn't an executioner running wild, it was the finish of American vote-based system. The U.S. House Select Council hearing started off at 8 p.m. nearby time on Thursday. In the very constructing where Trump allies revolted to attempt to stop the affirmation of the official political decision, after two denunciations which sank suddenly. Democrats recruited a previous maker from ABC News, Jan.6, to transform the procedures into what they trusted would be a blockbuster insightful extraordinary that would be Mr. Trump's Watergate second. Every one of the significant U.S. TV networks showed the transmission separated from Fox News, the traditional organization which has sold lies about the 2020 political race. The temperament was level-headed and the principal hearing was planned as a review of what will be coming the following a few meetings. In his initial articulation, the advisory group director Rep. Benny Thompson of Mississippi said, in his southern drone, that Mr. Trump was at the focal point of this scheme to keep him in power. January 6th was the zenith of an endeavored upset, a bald-faced endeavor. As one agitator put it, to oust the public authority. Mr. Thompson added, his co-seat was Liz Cheney, who is one of just two Republicans on the advisory group, and has been segregated by her own party for participating. What she needed feeling she compensated for in hazardous substance as she depicted how Mr. Trump had a modern seven-section intent to upset the official political race. She related how, as the Capitol mob unfurled, and Mr. Trump was informed individuals were reciting Hang Mike Pence his own VP, the reaction from Mr. Trump was that he merits it. The Observer declaration displayed to the Board of Trustees gave a knowledge into the immense measure of material it has gotten. Mr. Trump's previous principal legal officer Bill Barr said in a video testimony that he told his ex-manager that the thought the political race was taken was horse crap. Mr. Trump's girl Ivanka showed up in a video. She is perhaps the most distinctly anticipated observer to affirm. She said that Mr. Barr's view altered her perspective on the political decision and she presently not trusted her dad's perspective. Her better half Jared Kushner momentarily showed up too in a video clasped to get down on a senior White House official for crying about needing to stop. Both have affirmed for a really long time to the Board of Trustees. And the amount they turn on Mr. Trump will be a captivating subplot for the next few weeks. There were two live observers. Nick Quested, a British movie producer who during the mob was installed with the extreme right gathering the Proud Boys, and Caroline Edwards, a U.S. Capitol Police official who was perhaps the earliest official to answer the assault. She gave a chilling record of a war scene as she attempted to repulse the agitators. There were officials on the ground. They were dying, they were hurling. I saw companions with blood all around their faces. I was sneaking in individuals' blood. I was getting individuals as they fell. It was bloodletting. It was mayhem. I couldn't depict what I saw. Never in my most extravagant fantasies did I think as a cop I would end up in the center of a fight. Yet, the most destroying some portion of the 2-hour hearing was crafted by Mr. Goldston. He set up a progression of classes of agitators, some of whom have been charged or condemned, saying that Mr. Trump was the explanation they were there. In a 10-minute video montage, Mr. Goldston sewed together time-stepped cuts showing the insurrectionists raging the U.S. Capitol and Mr. Trump prodding them on with a discourse at a meeting close by, or with tweets as the frenzy unfurled. Wide shots showed the crowd amassing the structure, and never-before-seen film showed cops being beaten and the noose for Mr. Pence hanging with the Capitol behind the scenes. Toward the end was a clasp of Mr. Trump talking in July last year, saying of the horde, these were quiet individuals, the adoration all around. I've seen nothing like it. A portion of those watching in the council room sobbed as the video played, including the widows of 3 officials who passed on during the mob, and U.S. Capitol Police official Harry Dunn, who was working that day. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi made the 9-man board very nearly a year prior to examine the revolt. She would have liked to make a bipartisan panel like the one that researched the 9/11 assaults. Yet Senate Republicans obstructed the bill. Watchers should hold on until 10 a.m. on Monday for the following portion when Rep. Thompson said, They will zero in on the initial segment of Mr. Trump's assault on law and order. While the panel's discoveries are probably not going to bring about criminal allegations, The proof it acquires could be utilized in criminal procedures or common cases. In any case, the genuine test is in the court of popular assessment, with Democrats trusting it will help them in the midterm races in November. That is assuming it really adjusts anybody's perspectives. A hard undertaking in a nation as spellbound as America, where Republicans have previously condemned the hearings as a farce.
If you made it to the end of the video, kindly hit the subscribe button and leave a comment. It helps the channel.